Y'all been asking for it. We're doing it. Cut testing with the Spyderco Little Native in 20 CV. Knife Joy exclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're the only ones that have ever done a 20 CV exclusive, I think. Let me know if I'm wrong. They come with green scales. They've done multiple Spydercos in 20 CV. This is the Little Native. One of my favorite knives ever, I think. This is actually the last day of me carrying this for a week straight. Me and a couple other members did a 2-inch challenge for this week, meaning we do all of our cutting with a blade 2 inches or less. It was great. I didn't reach one scenario where I needed more edge. I just didn't. Maybe once or twice it would have been helpful a little bit, but I was still able to complete the task easily. So yes, at least for what I do, you can do all of your cutting with 2 inches of blade easily. This is such a fantastic knife. I don't think I've ever held a knife that felt this a part of my hand. It really feels like an extension of my hand because of the size and the ergos and the way that the blade is shaped, just everything put together. This knife is so ergonomic and, you know, choked up. Even if you have bigger hands than I do, you'll be fine. Look at the extra room I have. I'm all the way choked up in the choil. There's extra room. Your thumb can go all the way out to the point if you want. I mean, you can really get so much control over this edge. And a utility cut kind of pinch grip, I like to wrap my middle finger in this choil and then put my index finger down at the point. And man, you can put some pressure down, man. It's insane. And it just feels so good. It really feels like a part of your hand. I love this. I love this knife. I figured I would, since I love the Native 5, the bigger version of this. And I have owned the Wharncliffe version of this knife for a while, the Wharncliffe Little Native. It's just great. I like the knife a lot, but this is better because you still get really good utility cuts and you have the belly, which, as you'll see in the testing, comes really in handy. This is the perfect blade shape. This is, I think, the best small knife I have ever tried. Period. This is the best small knife. I haven't tried all the small knives, but I've tried a lot of them, and this is the absolute best I've ever tried. I love it. And I think you can still get these right now. These are, this cost me $109. $109 for this knife. Now the scales are from RGT and they're quite pricey, like $150. But you don't need these. They're really nice to have on it and it really elevates the knife. But this knife at knifejoy.com in 20 CV for $109. I'll put a link down below. I highly recommend you jump on that deal. If you've always wanted a Little Native, this is the time. So, let's get to the cutting. And here we go. This is the factory edge, which came extremely sharp. And I have been using it for a week, like I said. Haven't sharpened it, just stropped it a few times. Very sharp. Extremely sharp. So, let's get to cutting. Starting with regular cardboard, single thickness. Gliding through with ease. Oh yeah. Since there is no sharpening choil on this knife, which is really good because since you only have 2 inches of edge to work with, you want to be able to use that whole edge and not worry about slipping into the sharpening choil and getting snagged. So it's perfect. You don't have to worry about it cutting the cardboard. You just go for it. The little nub there kind of stops it, or your finger's right there too. So you kind of just slide along your finger if the cardboard drifts down that direction. This is the double thickness cardboard, and check it out, man. Yeah, not a problem whatsoever. Like I said, this knife feels like a part of your hand. Here's what I'm talking about with the kind of hitting your finger, running along your finger, kind of back there. Perfect. Such good ergonomics, man. It is a part of your hand. It's like somebody put a knife blade into your hand. Like a cyborg, an augmented human. Utility cutting. I love utility cutting with this thing because I can get my finger way down at the tip, putting pressure down. It just feels good. It feels so locked in. Let's try it on the thick stuff. No problem. So good, man. Oh, so good. I love this thing. Next, the glove. Let's roll this bad boy up. Cut off its thumb real quick. Roll it up and make some rolls. Now this, the width of that glove is almost 2 inches in itself. So, it's not the geometry or the sharpness, but I'm kind of having to make a couple drags through to get all the way through. And that's just because of the blade length. But I can absolutely do it. Like I said, a couple cases where it would be helpful to have more edge, but definitely not necessary. Next, seize the rope. This is where the belly's going to come in handy. Like I always say, we start with the tip and we rock back, pinching that material between the edge and the cutting board, creating almost like a scissors effect, and it just chops this stuff like no problem. Not an issue. This knife is so fun to cut with. Let's see how we can get through this double thickness strap. It's the end loop where there are 2 lengths stitched together. And definitely got through it fine. A little bit of, fraying, but definitely not bad. How about the regular strap here? There's no way this is going to get all the way through in one cut just because of the blade length, but let's see how far it gets. Surprisingly far. Wowza. I mean, I've cut tested, 3.5-inch blades that didn't go this far. Very nice. All right, what's next? Fire hose? Yep, fire hose. Let's cut a little strip off of this stuff. This is tough for knives to get through. The nylon over the rubber kind of catching the blade and slowing it down. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you kidding me? Like it's a freaking wonton. Alright, how's our edge doing? How's this 20CV? Come on, Spyderco. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's definitely duller than when we started. More of a rough cut. It is absolutely cutting paper. But the cut itself is a little bit rougher. But man, that held an edge very well. Let's give it a really quick stropping. Just a couple strokes on each side. And let's see how that affects the cutting edge, the sharpness. Oh, baby. Yeah, that is a really clean cut. Feels just as sharp as it was before. That's dropped back real nice. So there you have it. Spyderco's 20CV. I love it. I've owned a lot of knives in 20CV, and some felt quite good. But some just didn't hold an edge kind of like you would expect it to. And, you know, that's just how it goes. Some knife manufacturers don't do their heat treat properly, and it comes out a little softer than maybe it should be. So it's really nice to have some of this Spyderco stuff, the Spyderco 20CV, and know that it is done perfectly right. I really highly recommend this knife. Like I said, I'll link it down below. Man, it's good. Yeah. Please like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it. And let's rumble.